guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. I feel like I just literally did a virtual vlog review of another new vehicle, and guess what? We're here again, and we're still talking about Nissan, that Japanese brand that kind of lost its way for a while, but boy oh boy do they have some surprises over the past couple days. What do we hear about? We're here for the two special editions of the 2024 Nissan GT-R. They're ending the R35. Is this the GT-R you need to buy, that performance car you need to buy now? A supercar killer? Let's dive into the special footage I have and find out. And there they are. Now I know what you're saying. Golly, I wish they would just come out with a redesign by now. Well, guess what? They are going to be continuing the GT-R. That is a thing that they've agreed upon. It is going to be an R36. We just don't know what the heck is going to be powering it. It might be electrification. We'll have to see. But in the meantime, I really feel like they tweaked the GT-R, the R35, these last 2 years. They really kind of brought it back to where it needed to be. If you go back, we're celebrating since 2007. That was the official debut of the Nissan GT-R at the auto shows around the world, and it really made people's mouths just drop. I remember my mouth was one of those mouths that just hit the floor when I was like, whoa, that thing looks killer, and it had the performance to back up the looks. Now, the thing with the R35 is it was so different from any of the other generations of the Nissan GT-R. Remember, it goes all the way back to freaking 1970, if you could believe that. Now, the modern era GT-R started with the R32, and that was back in 1989. And then, of course, as you know how to count numbers, R32 led to R33. The R33 was a little softer than the R32. The R32 was very deserving of the name GT-R. It was that vehicle that performed all-wheel drive, four-wheel steer, a straight six with twin turbochargers. It was something that just blew the competition out of the water. And remember, that's the car that earned the name Godzilla because of all the dominating it did in Australia and the different race series down under. Now, the R33, like I said, got a little softer. It wasn't as hard-edged. Still a killer car, but just a little softer. And then, as you know, you played Gran Turismo, you played your Forza, you watched your Fast and your Furious. The R34 is really that pinnacle for many JDM enthusiasts, performance car enthusiasts, sports car enthusiasts, all-wheel drive enthusiasts. That really is the pinnacle, right? And remember, R32 through R34 was never brought into the United States legally. Of course, because of the 25-year and older rule, now you're starting to see them sprout up. Once the car becomes 25 years old, you can import it legally into the United States and enjoy that yearning for JDM craziness. Now, when the R35 came out, like I said, it was much different than the other vehicles from the past, but as a performance car, it lived up to the name. Twin turbo V6, no more straight six, but we still got six cylinders, V6 twin turbocharged, hand assembled in Japan. You had your all-wheel drive, just like the other generations. The big difference was no manual transmission. It was one of the first cars to be publicly available, at least here in the United States, with a DCT, a dual clutch transmission. Now, geez, even Hyundai Santa Fe's come with a DCT. But this was an all-out, raw, high-performance DCT, that dual clutch transmission with crazy performance. And the thing that's nuts is you take a GT-R, an R35, and you park it next to any generation Corvette, including the C8, you park it next to a Ferrari, you park it next to a Porsche, it's ginormous. The R35 is a large vehicle. It's almost 4,000 pounds, but yet it performs like mad. And it makes even the mild drivers look really good behind the wheel. You could drive it every day. You could drive it on the track. You could show it off at cars and coffee events. It really checked off so many boxes. Now, what's surprising is over the years compared to other performance cars, it never really depreciated greatly. They hold their value, and they have held their value so well, even though they haven't made any changes. And that might be one of the things that has allowed the value to stay so high. But even if you go back to the first year, 2008, first production year, because remember it was unveiled 2007, first production year, 2008, they're still pricey. You're not going to find one for 20 grand unless it's been wrecked, blown up, and a bomb dropped on it. Then maybe you might find one. But the rest of them have all held their value. Now, I know, I'm in the comments, I see you guys at cars and coffee events. Heck, I meet a lot of you when I'm at the airport on my next media drive. You want to know when they're redesigning it. When are they coming out with something new? Well, we don't have an official date on any of that, but we do have a way to celebrate. And they're going out with a pretty cool bang. Now, if you're hoping, it's sort of like if you saw the Heritage Edition Z vlog that I just unveiled. I'll leave the link to that one at the end of this one. It's sort of like the same thing. They're celebrating, but don't expect extra performance, extra horsepower. But has the Nissan GT-R just been that far ahead of the competition to where it hasn't really needed the extra performance? I mean, think about it. This GT-R, which there's going to be two different versions that I'm showing you in this special B-roll that was given to me by Nissan USA. We're going to talk about the two different versions. They don't have extra horsepower. But listen to the numbers. 3.8 liter twin turbo V6, 565 horsepower, 467 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds. And if you want a little bit more horsepower and you have a big wad of cash, you can go Nissan GT-R Nismo, which can give you 600 horsepower. But you do have other options available. So let's talk about what we're looking at with this first one. You'll notice midnight purple. This is the Takumi Edition. Now, Takumi is not somebody's name. There's not Mr. Takumi. Well, maybe there's Mr. Takumi, but it has nothing to do with this. It's like there's a Mr. Smith out there, but we're not talking about any Mr. Smiths here. We're talking about Takumi Edition. That's to honor the master craftspeople that hand-built the twin-turbo V6. So when you look at that badge and you see Takumi, that's what we're talking about here. And that's what we're honoring. So the edition, the Takumi Edition, only comes in midnight purple. And it only comes as a T-Spec. Now, because it is a T-Spec, that means you're going to get the carbon ceramic brake rotors, those bright yellow, Twinkie yellow Brembo 6-piston calipers with those massive carbon ceramic brake rotors. You get the special accents underneath the hood. Really nice with the gold. And then on the inside, you're getting that Mori Green interior, which I know green and purple doesn't make sense, but it all goes back to the past. They're trying to make that connection with the past. And you're getting wider front fenders and gold forged raised wheels. So that's going to be one special edition. And like I said, it's T-Spec based. The other one is what you're looking at right now, right next to the midnight purple one. That's the Bayside Blue. So you're looking at, that is called the Skyline Edition. Now, this is, the R35 has never been a Skyline. And I don't have time right now to get into that history lesson. Watch some of my other GT-R reviews. I talk about where Skyline comes from. But they're calling it the Skyline Edition because the color that it wears specifically is Bayside Blue. The last time Bayside Blue was offered officially was on the R34. When the R34 retired, then they retired the paint color Bayside Blue. Now, I know you're saying to yourself, chill out, sit down. I know you're saying, well, Joe, in 2020, they had the Heritage Edition, the Anniversary Edition, And that one was in Bayside Blue. You're correct. That was the other time that they brought it back. But that one has what I think is a very tacky white racing stripe on it. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. It's vinyl, which is good news. You could just peel it off. But here, you're getting pure Bayside Blue, nothing else put on it. Plus, remember, since this is a 2024 version, both of them are, you're getting that refreshed front fascia where they made some design tweaks to it to kind of make it look a little reminiscent of the R34. So don't think, well, hey, you know, my friend Steve down the street, who's a big Nissan nut, he has a 50th anniversary. What do I care about this one? Because his is Bayside. Well, yours is going to be special because yours is Bayside Blue, but it's the refreshed front end, the rear end, and all the other changes that they made for the model year 2023 and now into this 2024. Now, here's the good news. They're going to be rare. They're making less than 200, and that's together. That's not like 200 and 200, which equals 400, last time I added. It's 200 for the both of them. So it's going to be hard to come by one of these. And if you're lucky enough to track one down, I think that you're going to be very, very proud to be seen in this thing. But like I said, top speed 196 miles an hour. That really is something that, like I said, I know a lot of people are like, well, why didn't they add more horsepower? Did it really need horsepower? But what about price? Let's talk about the cheddar. Let's talk about the cheese. What do you like, Swiss, Gouda, American? Anyways, the price tag on this, if you're going Skyline Edition, has an MSRP of $131,000. So, give or take, that's about another 10 grand or so more than a standard GT-R. The Takumi Edition, you're looking at $151,000. But remember, the Takumi Edition is a T-Spec. So those are automatically more money because they have the carbon ceramic brake rotors, they have the forged raised wheels, they have the special paint job. Midnight Purple, that's another iconic color besides the Bayside Blue. The reason why it's iconic is because back during the R34 generation, everybody just fell in love with it. You know, you're driving around Japan, those were the two main colors you always saw was Bayside Blue and Midnight Purple. Yeah, you could get the GT-R in other colors, but those were the two most popular, most famous colors. Those are known as like GT-R colors. When I say Bayside Blue, if you think of a Corvette, we may not be able to be friends if you're thinking Corvette, because Bayside Blue was never offered on a Corvette. That is specific GT-R. Also, you'll notice on the interior, the different accents. And that's one thing I forgot, because I was talking about cheese, and I was starting to get hungry. So in the Bayside Blue one, as you're looking now, you're getting Sora Blue interior accents. And I like it because it's like a bluish gray. Really digging that. To me, that's another area where it's like, check, that looks special. That looks like it's got an extra level of attention given to it. Look at the blue, the top of the steering wheel, bottom of the steering wheel. Yes, everything else in the car is dated, all right? They haven't really changed it since 2008, man. But you're still getting one hell of a performance car. And it's one of those things like, if you don't want to buy a pre-owned one because you're afraid that somebody abused it, somebody modified it, somebody did some weird stuff in it, like they did drugs in it or something, this one you're going to be buying brand new. So it's yours. You have a full warranty. You have all of those special things from the get-go. So that's another thing, because I know that the comment section right now, well, I'll just go buy a 2009 or a 2010 or whatever. Congratulations, that's great. We're talking about brand new. And we're comparing it to other brand new cars. And the thing is, we live in a world today, unfortunately, where everything is freaking expensive, including pickup trucks. But let me know what you think. We're looking at these GT-Rs in the B-roll. They still hold a special place in my heart. Do they hold a special place in your heart? Let me know down in that comment section. Let me know what you feel about the price. And if you forgot what the price is, Skyline Edition, $131,000. And the Takumi Edition, you're looking at, and I know you're sitting down, $151,000. Let me know how you feel about those prices. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rides family. Of course, we need to thank the hardest working dog ever. That's Oscar. Right now he's passed out on the Papazon behind the camera. So thank you, Oscar, for all that you do. Of course, we need to thank Lori for just being so amazing when it comes to cameras and setting up the lighting and just being a great person all around. So thank you, Lori, for being who you are. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.